Hello, everybody. It is Saturday, April 3rd, at least on the side of the world that I am, because I know pretty actually pleased with how many different, different places the viewers come from. But yes, this is episode 4 of the Shattering podcast. I'm Chris Lotus, joined along with
Syrin Richxson.
What's good? What's good, Syrin?
Not relating to KOF, I've eaten very unhealthy today. I ate donuts for breakfast because I was in a hurry. And then when I went out, I had ice cream. And now I'm like, wow, this has not been the best idea of what to eat today. So hopefully whatever I ate for dinner isn't loaded with sugar. But yeah,
don't feel too bad. I had it might not sound like much, but you have to take into account how much I had. I had basically 4 boxes of Pocky,
Wow, okay.
It's 4 small boxes, but still. And the funny thing is when I take my mom to the doctor, because there's always a grocery store right nearby, she'll go in there and, get checked up and all that. Usually I'll be across somewhere, in the grocery store. It's a Kroger, and I'm sure that they had Pocky at one time, because I remember buying it, because usually I only get it when I go to the conventions down here. But then ever since then, I have not been able to find or see any in the stores. Did I buy the very last bit that they had? So I was like, why not? Why not order some? So, but
yeah.
Besides, I don't feel too bad. It was a little small, quick snack, but I don't know. Don't feel too bad.
Yeah.
You got my water in though, so I mean, at least I'm not going too crazy with it, like a double dose of caffeine or something.
I don't even do caffeine. I'm like, okay, so coffee tastes not that good, at least to me.
I'm not a coffee person either.
I've never even picked up an energy drink, so yeah. I just kind of wake up and go. But yeah.
Get up and go is the best hype fuel.
Yeah.
I used to really be, but this was back in the college days, really. And even still, in the middle of my time in college, I kind of got off the energy drinks. But when I first got in, yeah, I was and they sold them at the bookstore that's right there within the campus. So it's it's instantly available, and I'm just there. Oh, I know I'm about to freaking go and cram tonight. So before I go back to the house, I'm gonna have to stay up studying and working on the project, and I get another one. It's but I mean these days, it's just really what they call water enhancers though. But the ones that I mostly have, I have few with caffeine, but at the same time they have B vitamins as well. But mostly I have the water enhancers for vitamin C for, that's the biggest reason why I have those. So, but I'm just keeping it fresh with just straight up water going into the podcast here for the Shattering.
Yeah.
Nice intro here talking about our snack tastes there, our snack preferences.
Question of the week, guys, or of this week's podcast. What's your favorite snack? Comment down below on the VOD.
Hey, I'm open to it. That's cool. That'd be interesting. Might learn a little something new there, since a couple of you have been dropping some stuff in there as we've gone along talking about KOF. Because, like I said, I really did not know that everything with Shune was actually an actual type of fashion. I just took everybody at their word, even though I knew they were joking, thinking that he legit just walked into like a store full of tacky stuff and it was like, yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, shout outs to Shuichi because that was really cool. It's just so crazy because like once I looked at different styles of, and I hate the fact I can't remember the name, I'm sorry, but looking at the way that, you know, different examples of people, you know, wearing that style of dress, if they would have made him look more like a lot of the more darker punk metal-esque looking variations of it, I think Shune might have been a little bit better received.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's funny because with all the hype, and don't worry, we're gonna get to her soon. I love her, but we're gonna get to her soon. It's just we stumbled upon this somehow. But with all the talk about people thinking that the silhouette they put out this past week was for Ash Crimson.
I mean, almost everyone, including myself, was thinking it was going to be Ash.
Well, I'm not talking so much about what people thought or didn't think. It was just, I was talking with some people in Chiefs. Well, not really. Where was I? Was it in one of Chiefs' videos? Either way, shout outs to Chief Red Star. But the point is, they were talking about, it was somebody, actually it was Maximilian. It was Maximilian's chat. Maximilian's comment section. Someone was talking about how they loved how many people were enthusiastic about Ash Crimson because this person was of the impression that Ash was very, very polarizing. And here I am, I'm like, well, maybe he was. And honestly, I got put it, Ash, of all the protagonists in KOF, he was the most polarizing, but then we got Shune. Then along came Shune. That poor kid can't catch a break, man. Oh lordy.
Okay. We got like this high schooler guy with like fire powers. Okay, that's cool, right? But now we've got this clone of this fire guy with powers, but he's like all depressed because he was like abused in this laboratory. So
yeah, the big
now we have like this like femboy with like green flames. It's really cool. Trust me, these flames are green. We don't know why, but they're green. Now we've got this weird guy who's the adopted grandson of Tung Fu Ru from the Fatal Fury series. Yeah, he exists in King of Fighters. Don't worry about it. And then also he's related to the main villain, kinda, with his like powers.
Right.
That's my description of the discussion room in SNK of how to make their protagonists. They're like, okay, so we need to make when they're looking at KY, okay, we need to make someone who's thinner than Terry and Rio, but looks just as cool. Okay, I think I've got you. I think I've got it. Wow. High schooler.
Let me ask you something. Do you think if they would have somehow kind of linked him, and now that I think about it, I may have found out a reason as to why they didn't do this. Do you think if they would have somehow linked Shune more directly to Terry instead of somebody like Tung Fu Ru, do you think Shune might have still been as polarizing as he is, or would that have kind of, not really matter? Because hey, he was endorsed by Terry. He was brought by Terry. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it doesn't mean no. Like,
I think it's just his style of clothing. I feel like that's all people. I feel like his personality is just like, I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit sad, but I'm not like depressed like K-Dash. So, also I have Aqua and Fire Power. So that's
I always saw Shune a little bit as like just having no emotion, really. It's like it's funny because
it's like a little sad. That's how I describe him, but he's not like like, I won't talk to anyone.
I never really got sad vibes from him then. Then again, I'm thinking about him in terms of like the in-game stuff, because believe me, I've seen like that really nice theatric that they have, like where Verse is coming into form and you got Tung Fu Ru and you got Meiton Kun and everybody's just like, hey, Shune, Meiton Kun, go get him. And like there he's showing like, some edgy like type of emotion or whatever, but like in game, like his wind pose, like I remember looking at him and just like, this guy looks like he's in a trance. It's like he's rubbing the back of his head, okay, I'm chill, but it's just more like, I'm chill, but I mean, what's happening here? What's happening? Like, what did I do? Like,
got $20 for another tie. I need another one. Trust me, it's important.
Oh my god. Alright, so let's get right into it. This week we got King. What are your thoughts about King?
I mean, I feel like Chief's video covered most of all we were thinking, but we would not want to say out loud.
What do you mean?
Just think about it. Just think about it for a second. We all know what a certain design change. Not really. It's just a slight change. It's kind of noticeable.
The messed up part about it is like at least for me, a couple of things changed. Like in my video, I pointed out that first thing that kind of caught my eye was the hair. Like at first in my video, I said it looked like a lot more sleek. But also looking back at, like, I've watched the trailer maybe 20 different times from the point it debuted to now. And I figured out the other thing that threw me off, it was the fact that it also looked a bit darker compared to what it was in 14. It's like, I've seen a lot of people talking about, like, her face. I mean,
yeah,
I thought her face was fine. I mean... the only thing that was really different was the fact that the only difference I saw like between 14 and 15, which is interesting because I've seen a lot of people praising the KOF 14 King over the 15 one, but I mean, King is King, whatever. But the only thing I really got, aside from the fact that, because someone pointed out like in 14 she had like a more, I guess her face was like a lot more round, but like here it's a lot more defined, like it's, but I almost look at that almost like the fact like she's chiseled or whatever. And the only thing, aside from that, also, she really didn't smile a whole lot, at least in the trailer. Like, I can only think of maybe 2 or 3 different instances throughout that 1 minute or so where she actually smiled. So that's that was interesting to me. And I mean, I know what everybody's talking about, because the funny thing about it was, I didn't say it in my video, but then I had first talked to one of my friends. What's up, Johnny Phantom? The funny thing about it was, he brought up the things you talk about, then I'm just gonna use the word cake for the time being. Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, he brought it up, and the funny thing about it was, I'm trying to think who was it. Maybe it was Shuichi? Was it Shuichi? I'm looking to see if making sure I, get my sources right and all that. Yep, it was Shuichi. Shouts to Shuichi. The moment my friend Johnny had said that, Shuichi, like, I got a notification about Shuichi commenting on one of my videos, and then the one thing that stuck out to me, oh my god, bad. Oh, the wording, man, stuck out. But anyway, no, it was like, his words, like, she looks bigger in the back part. I'm like, are you two? I like talk to Johnny. I'm like, are you two talking about the same thing? I just love how he told me that, and all of a sudden, notification, hey, she looks great. Does she look bigger in the back part? Because even Chief brought it up too. I was actually on the floor rolling when Chief mentioned it.
I think he did a little more than bring it up.
Oh yeah.
I think he.
I mean, I can't blame him because, far as I remember, I don't remember, like, I don't recall that. But then again, I always just like King's design overall, really. Like, I mean, the backstory. The guy that ran the panel that inspired me to start doing the videos that I do on my channel, he actually cited King as one of his favorite characters because of all the barriers she's breaking and the fact that it's not just a gimmick with King. There's a storyline behind it, and there's a goal that she's actually pushing for. But yeah, I mean, I've watched only like I said, I don't think, aside from yours, I think the only two people I watched react to the trailer were Max and Chief, and either them or somebody in their chats/comment section. It was cake fest all around. So. I mean, I would say, hey, what would you expect for somebody whose primary offense centers around kicks? But I mean, one of my favorite female kickboxers is one. She's actually also a wrestler and a mixed martial artist. Her name is Yuri Kondo. Some of the meanest kicks ever, and she's actually very, very petite though. Still a great looking woman, but like, I was thinking, okay, maybe that's not the best way to, I guess, explain that, but yeah, freaking, I was on the floor rolling when Chief talked. He made it.
Yeah, I was laughing pretty hard. I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, okay, you just got straight to the point.
But
you know what we were thinking.
To be fair to him, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm joking. I was about to say leading the camera angles are doing that, but I mean, at the same time, maybe that was the intention. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I'm gonna say no. Because Chief made it seem like SNK was trying to emphasize saying, hey, freaking King became a thicky Mickey. It's like... Oh god, what you got? Like, what you got though?
In terms of like bullet points here, or just...
Well, I mean, like, far as King.
Oh, I'm glad she's back. She's a character whenever I start playing a new KOF game, I usually choose her, just because she's like easy to pick up. But yeah, the characters I usually will pick, she's usually one of them on like one of the teams if I go through arcade mode for the first time. Usually her, King. Well, she is King. What am I talking about? It's usually King, Rio, and Terry, or if Takuma's not there, it's usually. I mean, if he is there, it's usually like Takuma,
right,
King, and like Joe. I also play Joe from time to time. But yeah, she's one of the characters who's easy to pick up.
Right.
But yeah, I usually play her and Rio because Rio's got the close range and she's got the far range. And then yeah. Apparently auto combos are back.
Yeah, but
they showed in their trailer.
Yeah, but I'm not too worried about those because at least fighting games have been pretty good at basically, I guess what you would call is like diminishing the reward for taking the simple route.
Yeah.
Because I know KOF 14 did it. Persona 4 Arena did it. What other game had some auto combos or whatever?
Street Fighter 5 kinda had them. They're different, but they're more or less just like press a button, press this button, press that button, press this button.
Those aren't really auto.
Press forward, press this button.
Those aren't really auto combos, honestly.
Yeah, it's more like
a lot of those
you just hit a couple buttons, you get stuck in it. But yeah,
like a lot of that, like a lot of stuff in Street Fighter Five is actually a lot more complex. Like
Yeah.
the buttons, like a lot of like an example of what you're talking about would be like what they call pianoing certain buttons, where it's like basically you can. There's not really like, as opposed to like a Street Fighter combo, you're not, comboing like. The best way to put it in layman's terms is like with Street Fighter, you have to worry about like it's more frame, I guess, dependent as well. I'm trying to get too scientific with it, basically, but because there's like your recovery frames and all that. Because think about it, like you can mash like a jab or whatnot, but like when you're confirming into something, that's where your executions comes in. That's basically what I'm talking about. I guess that's the best way for me to put it. Those combos, basically, those chain command normals, basically, because like the ones you piano, those like the ones that you can like press, one behind the other and they like chain or whatever.
Yeah.
Those don't really require heavy execution as opposed to like most B&Bs in Street Fighter 5. But like auto combos, I'm talking about legitimately they're just giving you the one button and you can just push it and just make progress. I guess Dragon Ball FighterZ, but like Dragon Ball FighterZ is a little more complicated with it because
I mean,
I've seen
if you go like you do like stylish and Guilty Gear Xrd, you can. It's kind of an example.
I've never played like the stylish mode in Guilty Gear, honestly. Like we never did that. I got an idea what
I remember like when I first got Xrd, I tried it because what does that mean? And then I'm like, oh, okay, I just mash.
Yeah.
Then I went to manual.
The Dragon Ball FighterZ kind of does it, but the thing is, some B&Bs that I've seen with certain characters, like when I was relearning, because last time I played it was when Kefla came out. And I forgot, because at first I was thinking like these guys like legit deviating from like the auto combos to get more damage, but there will be segments of auto combos that are in advanced combos basically, but most of the time it's just you doing something to where you go into super dash or you're launching somebody in the air, in essence. So
yeah,
but auto combos don't bother me all that bad because like I said, most of these games are good at least enticing players to like legitimately, try to combo. Hey everybody in the chat, Super Duper, Parker Burris, and Suichi. Sorry if I was late. Sorry I was late because I was actually hunting down an image that I wanted to bring up since Syrin's always really good at reminding me of when they pop up. Basically, whenever they reveal a character in KOF 15, sometimes they'll have an explanation. I know for the last one with Yashihiro, like people kind of got a confirmation of his two partners there because you could kind of see them at his size, despite the fact they were cropped out of the picture. But
yeah.
The one I saw for King was pretty interesting now I think about it. So King's 3D model has gone through some tweaks, making her far more ferocious and beautiful than her previous iteration. Also look forward to her older attacks making a big comeback in KOF 15. I know somebody had mentioned that there was an overhead kick that she did not have in 14, which they saw in this trailer. That's making a comeback.
The one where she like goes over the projectile, because I don't remember seeing that in 14.
Yep, and that's gonna be pretty scary because sometimes
I think I saw it. I don't know if it was 2002 UN, but I think that was in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Possibly. But
I didn't really play King in UN. Like, I'm not very good at it.
I mean, you haven't got a smorgasbord of characters to try out, so
yeah,
But I had I had seen some people just like thinking like, and we're gonna actually transition into this other point here because it's something that I've been wondering since it's been kind of sort of a meme, if you want to say that. I'm not high on most memes because I think memes have kind of become a little oversaturated nowadays, but whatever, I'm not here to step on anybody. But a lot of people, a nice chunk of people I'll say, were still kind of just, they were just like, okay, we knew King was going to be in the game, but I mean, there was nothing new really, because if there's one thing I know I said multiple times in my video, it was the fact that this is vintage King, really. And it like went a step further by bringing back some older moves. And I'm pretty sure most people wouldn't want it any other way. However, I know Chief talked about it, I know Maximilian talked about it, and I want to know how you're feeling about it.
Moves?
Not so much that, but the transition is, we hear it all the time with every single trailer. We hear it all the time when people are talking about the game, when they're joking about it. Like I said, this has almost been memed to oblivion. At this point in time, for all we know and all that we've seen about KOF 15, are your expectations shattered?
I wouldn't say they're shattered. I've gotten a couple curveballs here and there, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty neat. Their expectations aren't shattered, but I guess they're like dented.
Expectations dented. Okay. Or, now let me give you this option, because at first I thought you were going to say this. Do you think it's too early to call it?
Of course. Way too early.
Yeah, I mean, for the record, we've gotten a surprise here and there. Really, well, to be honest, I think the really only big surprise that most of us got was the fact, and even some people still called it, like on my end, and that was the fact that we got Team Hero and, you know, Benny Maru is actually taking Tung's place and getting the, you know, the new generation up to speed. But a lot of people kind of saw that as like, well, I mean, and it's true. This isn't the first time that Benny Maru has struck out on his own away from Kyo, had a Team Hero. Got the rhymes today. It's like, but I mean, at this point, it's like, I thought about that because mine aren't really shattered, so to speak. But I'm not saying I'm not satisfied. Not saying that.
Yeah.
And also, that also transitions into what do you think is going? Where do you think team? What team do you think King is going to end up on?
It's a hard question. What I'm hoping happens, it's just me, is that she goes to Rio and hopefully Marco. But I have this horrible feeling that they're gonna shatter my expectations in a bad way, and just put her on the women's fighting team. It's like, oh, we shattered your expectations. She's on the classic team that she's almost always on. Oh, you guys wanted her to be on the team with those two? That was just a joke. I'm just joshing you.
Well, she is the second most. She's appeared like the second most times on that team. Because Mai has the most appearances, King in the middle, and then Yuri has the least amount.
Yeah,
so
she's sometimes with her brother.
It's like, I want to see a bit of a change here. And not just because of my prediction. I want to see some change here. Like, I just want to see something different here. It's not like, because I mean, another friend of mine who really grew up like heavy in the Neo Geo golden era really wants to see the three of them back together again. But it's like, I mean, I know she might have been out the loop when it came to KOF, but I'm like, they've been on the same team, like not even like a whole, I'm gonna say like even 4 or 5, not even a whole 2 games apart. Like it was at 13. They were there 13.
Yeah.
So. And I mean, it's like, I know this might not be a true equivalent, so to speak, but what is wrong with having 2 women fighters teams? Because technically, at least if you ask me, I don't know who's kicking over there, but they better chill. I'm joking.
Second.
I'm joking. But
I'll be right back.
Okay, let's go. All right, cool.
Take antibiotic.
All right. But what I was saying though was the fact that I want to see a bit of a change here, really. it's like, I mean, it's not like Mai is not in the game. I mean, we know she's here. We just haven't seen the trailer yet. And honestly, like I said, you could still make a team of the three of them because all three of them are in the game, but like, why not mix it up a little bit? And on top of that, like, are they just really, even though this is not really like dependent on King, but are they really going to like retract that storyline that they hinted at with Rio and Marco leaving Southtown? Because I thought that was a really good opportunity to like mix stuff up. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, like, it's just, I want something a little different. Like, I really, and not just, like I said, it's not just for the sake of like, oh my goodness, like I want my prediction to be right. I just want to see something different. Like, all three of them are in the game, so there's that. We're going to see Mai. Not only did we see her in the freaking first trailer, but they do not want the no Mai, no buy campaign again. They don't want that. SMK cannot afford to get got by no Mai, no buy once again. They can't. So we shall see. And honestly, the way they're setting it up, it's kind of genius. Like, if you, like, I don't know if you caught the little bit there, but one key point that I made, I was really hoping that, my bad if I'm being a little repetitive, Shuichi. I know it took me kind of like, I'm trying not to take the longest time to say something simple. I really don't. It's just, oh my goodness. But on top of like the changes there, like I said, you got a storyline right there. Cause I was gonna say, because I was telling them, I'm like, are they really gonna drop the storyline with Rio and Marco wanting to leave Southtown? Like, that was a, you know, it's not bad. It's not like Rio is turning like he's turning heel like into a bad guy. It's like, but I think the setup is good though, because now we're kind of at a crossroads here, because we haven't seen Rio yet as well.
Yeah.
So King could easily be on one of those two teams right there. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily be on one of those teams. But I just really, I love the women fighters team, but I just do not want to see that team together again. I'm like, okay, shatter all expectations, but how? How though? And like, we all just lied to us when you said that it was gonna be like the teams are gonna differ greatly from 14. Is like, I mean, so far. Now on that, I can't. Okay, on that stance right there, they've kept it, because Benimaru was not, like, we know where Benimaru was. The sacred, well, actually no, the sacred treasures were separated at that time. One of them wasn't in 14, but now we're in Fatal Furyville. But hey, this might be kind of lame. I'm just looking at it from another perspective, but he did specifically say it's going to differ greatly from 14. The original women fighters team lineup, or like the most well-known, or the big three of the women fighters team, they were not together in 14. So maybe I can't talk too much mess about them.
Yeah.
Fabio Lupe in the chat says, Kasumi and the women fighters with King and Mai is not a bad team for me. Yeah, like, freaking Kasumi would be good. I really want to see Mei Lee Jinju come back, to be honest. And Mei Lee Jinju was on the team before, I'm pretty sure. Like, she was there for maybe, I think, once or twice. Like, the women fighters team is hella varied compared to all the classic teams. Like, all the classic teams that we know of have barely had any shakeups. This team has been shaken up one way, all the way across from one side of the globe to the freaking farthest planet. They have been shaken up. Like, the roster is freaking hella big.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let, cause like, I'm gonna go find like my file, cause I actually lined it up. Like, I did an outline or whatever, but I'm gonna let Syrin go ahead and go while I you know, line everything up. I got a little too much into it. I heard you came back, but I was getting into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm back, guys. Hi, hello. Got some I got an interesting bullet point here. We're ready to move on to those. This one's kind of a small one, but
Well, before we get there, I actually found it a little quicker.
oh, okay.
So, I forgot I put all this stuff together, thankfully, because it's easier to hunt down. For my notes that I do for the predictions, which, by the way, I'm still working on it. I've really just been getting hit by random crap left and right, so I'm sorry for that, y'all. All the other members of the women fighters team, not counting Yuri, Mai, and King. Kasumi Toto was on the team in 96, 99, and 2000. And funny enough, one of the Sacred Treasures was on that team twice, Chizuru, in 97 and 98. Blue Mary was on that team 2 times, in 99, 2003. And someone in the chat, I think it was Shuichi. Yep, he did. Li Jingfei, 2 times, 99, 2001. Hinako Shijo, 2000, 2001. Meili Jinju in 2002. And of course, you and I both like this character, of course, Alice in 14.
Yeah.
All of these different characters have been on that team. All these various characters. Just saying. Y'all can shake this up right here. Speaking of 2002 Ultimate Match, because I think I mentioned this in the last podcast, I knew about that other like younger girls team that I just didn't know they were like called the Pretty Girls team. Yeah. I never knew that because my friends around that time, they just called it, they're the Women Fighters Team Mark II. They're the junior women fighter, like they're the junior women fighters team. But that's just that. All right, what you got? I think I ran it long enough about that. Hey, he looks.
So, in terms, I've got a small one here. Our custom colors are turning. I might be scraping the bottom of the.
They need to.
I might be scraping the bottom of the jar here.
Oh no! That was one of my favorite things there. It's like very, very rarely do fighting games allow you to customize something to that extent even. Because what do we have in fighting games? We got unlockable costumes or skins or stuff like that. Unlockable color palettes and all that. Most skins and most costumes and stuff are DLC these days, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyways, like
play Tekken, go nuts.
There you go. Tekken. There you go, Tekken. Exactly.
Soul Calibur. Something like that.
And for the record, while Tekken is like pretty because I've actually been playing a lot of Tekken recently, like my friends got me back into it, and I don't know what they did, but ever since I guess the Kunimitsu patch, game's been good. At least like decent, like it ran better than when I last remember playing Tekken. But anyways, despite that, I'm glad you brought up Soul Calibur, because even with the customizations in Tekken 7, the ones in Soul Calibur, like, are still better in my opinion. Like, even, because, like, my biggest gripe when it came to Tekken 7 is, like, after you finish making, you know, after you finish making, like, the custom, you know, costume, like, customizing your character, you get to take a custom picture of them. Like, you know, so you can...
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like, unlike in Soul Calibur 6, I'm not sure if it was in 5 because it's been a minute. I think in 5 you could. But basically, in Tekken 7, you can, like, have each character, you know, do, like, 4 of their win poses or 4 of a certain pose or whatnot. But you cannot rotate the camera to, like, get, like, a good enough angle. You can't rotate it. You can't zoom it. You have to, like, catch it default.
Yeah.
It's like that right there kind of bothers me, but I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not even gonna go there. But yes, costume. Okay, so Fabio, like in KOF 13, where you could basically make a custom color palette for, like, you know, all the characters in the game. Like, you could go in, you could customize them, like, make them your own. That's what we're talking about. Which honestly, Shunei could definitely do with a oh my god, that's becoming a meme almost. It's like everything goes back to Shunei needing a touch up.
I mean, you could probably do that. Just be like, alright, so make everything that isn't 100% visible, that's just there, that just is super distracting, make it the same color as his shirt. Don't worry about it.
By the way, Parker Burris, exactly. I really hope the rollback is really coming. I mean, I know it might be different to do when it comes to like newer games, but they've done it twice. 2002 UM and freaking Garu Mark of the Wolves. Come on.
Yeah.
But I know it's easier with those because, I mean, come on. But here's the hoping, because if you don't have rollback netcode especially, because I'm pretty sure we're not going to be out of, I'm going to use the what culture word for it, the global bastard or whatever, then no. But yeah, custom colors, like, yes, please, like, I think somebody had said, like, you know, well, actually I was talking to a friend, they were like, maybe they didn't want to go like this dark, moody, goth, punk metal design for Shunei because they already did that kinda sorta with K-Dash. I'm like, I don't think his attire is really like dark punk metalist or whatever, but I mean with the persona, I mean his behavior is kind of like that, but I mean he's more like like I said, he's an angsty overgrown brat. That's all he is. He's an angsty overgrown design brat. But Jess, I really hope, because somebody in the chat mentioned it, it was Helix, because it mentioned that Street Fighter Cross Tekken did it, and that was actually pretty good too, even though I feel like to a small degree they kind of went overboard, because you've played Street Fighter Cross Tekken, right?
I have not. I think it might be on my wish list, but I've never played it.
So it actually had a color customization mode very much like the one in 13. The only thing with me was the fact that it wasn't bad across the map, but in some cases, for certain characters, it didn't look that good. But you could actually put like neon colors, like actual glowing neon colors on characters. And just seeing how much that game is fixated around, like, you know, glowing colors being like a signal for something, because basically a character would glow a certain color when a certain gem activates. So you got that, and you freaking put it with the fact, like, you see somebody, you're thinking, oh, the gem activated. It's like, no, you got to look down there at, like, you know, you got to look at the gem bar to see if they actually activate it, because it might just be somebody with neon colors. But then again, on top of it, like I said, I think it just had to do with the fact that the neon colors looked good on certain characters, in my opinion. Some not so much.
Yeah.
Shunei is the perfect giant target, unfortunately.
Yeah.
SNK, y'all really got this man on the wrong foot, but I don't want to freaking keep dunking on Shunei. Like I said, I don't hate Shunei. It's just, like I've said it before, weird design with a freaking killer moveset. That's all I gotta say. Because his moves in 15 look hella better than it did in 14. 14 look kind of goofy, kind of plain.
Pancake Sauce in the chat says, what characters are you most excited
Hey,
to
look
play
at
as?
you! We got chat from your side. What's up? Yes!
Yeah.
What did
Once
Pancake?
in a blue moon occasion has happened.
Hey, bask in the glory, man. But what did Pancake say?
He said, what characters are you guys most excited to play as?
I guess far as the ones that have been revealed or hinted at so far, I want to say. Because for me, of everybody I've seen, to be honest, everybody's gameplay was pretty appealing to me, except, oh my god. Except for Shunei's, because they presented it horribly.
Yeah, they didn't do a great job.
But if you want my top 3 Pancake, I will say, hey, she's not revealed yet, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Shermie, Chizuru, and Iori, I would say. I mean, this is just my opinion right here. I'm pretty sure everybody has like their own, obviously. Cause I forgot. I heard it from someone else that said that a certain character's trailer was like the best one. It was somebody, I think it said Kyo's. Kyo's was good,
Yeah.
but I am still giving the best trailer thus far. I'm still giving that award to Iori. That trailer, it was the freaking Super sold it. The Super single-handedly sold it for me, man. Like, oh god. But those would be my top 3. What you got, Syrin?
Oh, in terms of characters that have been revealed, I would have to say, probably, Maiden Food,
Good choice.
K-Dash. I like playing K-Dash. Probably, Joe or Terry.
Okay. Not a bad line.
Probably King, since she just got revealed. Like, kind of play her a little bit.
Oh god. I should have never watched freaking Max and Chief react to that trailer. I should have never watched that.
It's just like, yeah, we're thinking about it, but man,
I'm not gonna go there because if I jokingly tell the chat not to freaking bring that freaking spam, bring that mess over here, they're gonna do it anyways. But there you go. You got another bullet point?
I do.
Andy's trailer was really good. His was really good. Like, I understand his brother, you know, it's Terry Bogard or whatever. But I just don't think Andy's a bad design. I don't think he's boring either.
I think Shizuru's trailer was pretty good, actually.
Chizuru, I think, will be, from me personally, top 3. It's one of the top 3, in my opinion.
She walks into frame and then boom, boom, boom.
The only
3
reason,
sacred treasures.
if they didn't pull... See, I liked that at first, because I remember reacting to it, because I paused the video right there and just started laughing. I'm like, they're not even hiding it. But I would have probably put hers over Yori's if they hadn't have done that mess that SNK loves to do, especially with Sam Show trailers then. Because it's like, Sam Show, I understand the characters have a very limited moveset and they're not really combos in that game. But then what they always seem to do is, what they'll do is, hey, now we're going to show you their SSM. And then, because you know it's the SSM because like the whole backdrop goes like this goldish yellow color. And then just before it gets to the crucial part, it cuts off and it's like, character will be available on this date. It's like, I mean, I understand you can't like put everything out there, but come on, man, that must get some. That annoys me because they did it with Chizuru. It's like she did the first half of her super, and then something awesome was going down. Like she was lotioning her hands, and like the freaking spheres were all around her. But it's like, shut her all expectations. Dang it! I wish they would stop.
I think they do that because they're like, oh, you're gonna get a taste, just a taste though. You gotta wait to see that in game.
I'll forgive that if y'all do like a midway, not like the old game company that did Mortal Kombat. I'm talking about, as far as like your character reveals or whatever. Do like a beta somewhere in the midway. I'll forgive it then, but I'm getting tired of that. You can get away with that with freaking Sam Show, not this. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. You don't have to show everything, dude.
Let's see. So, got another bullet point here.
Maybe it's to finish the best shot of the Super 2 or something like that, possibly. I mean, when they cut off, like, the cutoff works for certain people. I'll stop being overtly critical for a minute. But the way they did it with Chizuru actually kind of works, because now that I think about it, it reminds me of what Najet's super looks like. Because basically, the last thing you see is her. Like, you don't see, like, the person pretty much getting decapitated by the freaking shadow monster or the shadow mouth or whatever. So, I mean, okay, I can give it that. But I still give the award to Yori. I think the Sacred Treasure Trio, I think those trailers right there are number 1, 2, and Iori's, Chizuru's, Kyo's. That's how I would number the top. Like, the top 3 is the Sacred Treasure Trio then, but Iori's is still the number 1 in my book.
All
On
right.
to the next point. What you got? Because I got a nice little game we can kind of play after this one.
Okay. What dead characters do you think are returning?
Aside from all the Orochis.
Yeah, aside from all the Orochis.
I mean, Rugal isn't one. He's just kind of affiliated with them. And I feel like that's one of the things that really is... I think that's what they're really talking about when it comes to Shatter All Expectations. They're gonna they're gonna pretty much yank a character that nobody expected to see because, oh, it's a bygone era and Rugal died so long ago. Oh, you think so? We're gonna shatter your expectations. We're bringing them back. Rugal is back. I just instantly gravitate towards like all the Orochis, probably because like everybody likes them a lot. Like everybody likes them, so it's like you always think about all of them. I mean, it's like we know. I mean, we base unless SNK really is doing something screwy, we know that the freaking new faces are back. We saw them in the picture there with freaking Yashiro. Not their faces, but enough to know. We saw enough to know.
I think it's safe to assume none of the bosses from the Tales of Ash saga are returning.
Psyche, no. Not Psyche.
Psyche, no. I would like to see someone like Magaki or Mukai return, but I don't think that's happening.
Since you like the two of them, I mean, I like Psyche more than Ash. I don't know what it is. Don't at me. I mean, don't ask me.
I do like Psyche quite a bit. He is probably my favorite of the 3, but I also really like Mukai. No, it's Magaki. The one that turns into the weird alien guy with the...
I was gonna ask you, the reason I brought it up was because one of my friends speculates that since they're not going, or at least by storyline standards, they can't bring Psyche back, what's going to happen is that there is going to be, basically, like, my friend speculates that when Ash Crimson is revealed for this game, Ash will have like that long Psyche hair. Like they say, like they were like saying this is like the boldest prediction I have. They were like, my friend thinks that Ash Crimson is gonna have like the biggest makeover, but you'll still know it's Ash Crimson.
Something I thought of was, what if he's half possessed by like Psyche?
I could dig it.
Like maybe his like EX supers have like the kind of Psyche darkness.
Helix over here in the chat is a Magaki fan too. Says his human design is dope.
Yeah, he's quite a cool looking character. I like Mukai a lot as well, but I bet the whole, turning people into fossils thing would get extremely annoying.
For the record, Fabio, the human Psyche, I mean, the buff one was okay, but at the same time,
I feel like in 3D it wouldn't be quite right.
Nah, no. He looked kind of goofy even still then, and then maybe unfortunately it's from taking the stupid freaking super so many times from freaking Psyche. It just grabs you like,
It's like, I hate that so much. It's like, okay, cool, you grab me. Oh, okay, I'll go make some tea.
I remember the first time I freaking... You know what? The funny thing, you said go make some tea. When I first freaking played the KOF 13, like arcade mode, and I got to that point, when he hit me with that for like the 10th time, I legit went to the bathroom, honestly. I'm like... That was on my first. That was like on my first character. I'm like, I don't care if he destroys the rest of my character. I'm just done. I don't want to get by this crap again. And then right after that, freaking Evil Ash pops up. Full screen super. You are going to either get hit or chipped, but it cannot be neither.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is talking about Ash, and thanks to the shuffling of your little playlist here, the second Joker is up.
Yeah. I think I need to put the first Joker up as well. I know that. I think that one's from 11, but it's just called Joker. But yeah. Second Joker is way better though. Though I have to say, probably some of my favorite music is from KOF 13 in terms of SNK music.
Yeah. There's a nice couple choice cuts all throughout the discography there. Like, I like the even though, I mean, we know where the inspiration came from. Excuse me, but the, what they call the rearranged version of, Rock Howard's theme song, which basically plays off the song Children by, his last name is Miles. I forgot his first name, unfortunately.
I don't know. It's from like the 90s.
Yeah, I know his name is it Robert Miles?
Probably.
Looking it up. Because I actually, I mean, granted, I mean, I was playing like something else. Yeah, it's him.
So.
R.I.P. Robert Miles, yeah.
Apparently, I remember Maximilian said something about that. It was like when he was talking about the new Tekken character. I forget her name. It's the Polish.
Lydia.
Yeah, Lydia.
Yeah, that character's dangerous.
I have not even come across her yet. Although I'm really horrible at Tekken. Like, the character I have a slight idea of how to play is what's his name? He has like the big hair. Paul.
I wanted to wait until I got to, like, I guess, Benimaru, like in my little Fascinating Facts video, which, if everything goes smoothly, by the way, since you all voted for it, Terry is going to be the first one. I'm hoping to get at least it won't be, I keep saying the first video, but it's not the first one, because I did a My video years ago, but still.
First one in a long time.
In essence, yeah, pretty much. But I bring it up because I found out some trivia that basically, I think the two of them, Paul and Benimaru, I think they shared like a voice actor, because they were talking, it was from like one side or whatever, they talk about like how it's interesting because this person voiced two tall blonde-haired freaking guys, except one's a bruiser and the other's, I mean, he's a bruiser, but he's a pretty boy.
Imagine if he voiced Polnareff as well.
Probably, I think so. Well, I'm not sure. Hey, Jose. But
Polnareff, apparently the whole JoJo thing is happening at like 1 a.m. tonight.
Oh.
In Americas.
Oh.
I think they're going to be revealing Stone Ocean.
I don't know much about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure aside from the fact, like I said, I played the
Jolene and her Balls Deep Super.
Yeah, there you go. I say I played
That's
All-Star.
the part she's from. So
I played All-Star Battle Royale when it was on PS3, and like I legit just walked in on my friends like playing it, and I'm like, "What's this?" JoJo's Bizarre. I'm like, "This is a fighting game, like a 3D fighting game." Like, yeah. I just sat down and watched it some more, and I'm like, "Where is this at?" It's like, could they port this to freaking PS4? I mean, like, Tekken is great and all, but sheesh, I'm like, I would sit here and play this for hours. But yeah, freaking, Jolene, Kujo. I like the Lisa character too, because I was a Rose player in Street Fighter 4, so.
Curious as to how Jonathan would play.
I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Like, aside from those two characters, I don't know all that much about it, really. I have friends that are like super fans of JoJo's, but there is so much information to take in that it's kinda hard to keep up with all of it.
Jonathan's the first JoJo, so
I know like that's a title and all. I know like that little bit at least. But
Jolene's like the sixth JoJo.
And I didn't even know that but I like this was, I know it was like I found out about it years ago, but because there was like a big debate in the group I used to be in, because they were talking about, oh my goodness, they're just remastering more stuff instead of putting out new stuff. I think it was maybe Capcom, but I didn't know like JoJo's had like an obscure fighting game, like it was a 2D one, like way back then, because it had like had the stands and everything, and like unfortunately I didn't indulge in it that much because it didn't really like, I mean it was good, but it didn't grip me in like freaking All-Star Battle Royale did. Like that right there to me, looked like an awesome game. Like, I really wish... It's not even on PlayStation now. It's kind of disappointing.
I wish it was on PC, because I'd love to play that game.
It too. I never thought about that, but then again, I think I looked and saw it was only on PS3. Oh my god. Okay, time for some really silly stuff then. Is everybody ready in the chat to help me and Syrin out? Are y'all ready to help us out?
Is this going to be like a Dora the Explorer episode?
I don't know. Technically no, because I don't think Dora the Explorer ever did anything about word association.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Nah, I'm just kidding. She got something else. Got another bullet point? I was just kidding.
Oh, I do have another bullet point here. This one's like a slightly darker shade of orange, or yellow, just like orange, I guess. You think that King's Climax Super has something to do with the Rio? Not like he'll be in it, but like you think it has like some sort of like significance, and that's why they didn't show it.
The freaking Climax Super has something to do with the fact she was tossing the rose at the very end. She gonna freaking toss the vest, and like if it hits you, it's like she's doing what like the mess that Dudley had in freaking Street Fighter Third Strike, but instead it's gonna be a mesh of like when freaking K-Dash throws his glasses at you, and he's just like, "Booyah!" New pair.
But it's like it's like Rio's thing. She's like has her own spin on it.
Oh, man. It's just crazy to me because I mean everybody has their. Oh my god, man. I can only imagine what's gonna happen with the Mai reveal at this point. If y'all gonna be talking about freaking going in the King video talking about cakes and stuff, it's like they mentioned it so much. I actually went back into 14 to see if like, is everybody just being funny? I legit did that. I'm like, after like hearing Max like kind of sort of mention it, and then Chief mentioning it, I'm thinking to myself like, let me go back in 14. Like, is everybody just being funny talking about King got cake? Really? Is everybody just being funny? And sure enough, I go back and I look. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll have a point. Maybe you do. But, and for the record, I'm not saying it again. I promise I would not. Well, I didn't promise, but I'm promising it now. I'm not saying it again. I am not gonna say King's catchphrase because it sounded bad when I said it in my video.
Baby. Oh, man.
I'm not saying it. I'm not gonna do it. Auto combos went. Jose in the chat. Auto combos wasn't something new. That was already kind of a thing in the DBZ Budokai Tenkaichi games, and in the DBZ Raging Blast games, where you could auto combo with mashing the square button. I mean, like, I didn't say it was exactly a new thing. It's just with, see, the games you mentioned right there, those games right there, I mean, and I'm pretty sure because the world is a very large place and you never know what you might find. But the games you mentioned there with the Dragon Ball games, all those, like Budokai Tenkaichi and Raging Blast, those were never really considered FGC games. It's kind of sort of a new, I guess it's kind of sort of a quote-unquote new concept to people who play the FGC games like Street Fighter and Tekken and all these other games or whatever. Like, I guess it's a new concept. But in that, I'm saying new with 5 sets of air quotes over it because it is, as you said, it's not something new. It's just you have the elitists that just love to gatekeep everything. It's like, don't be bringing like that stuff over into like stuff like Street Fighter and everything. Like, don't be bringing that over here. It's like, I mean, it's whatever. It's not like the freaking auto combos break the game. I remember when Persona 4 Arena came out, it was like an old group that I was in. Someone was like, that game needs to be banned from competitive because of auto combos. I'm like, the auto combos aren't even that good. There was only one character that in Persona 4, like the original one that is, because I didn't play the update. What's it called? Ultimax? Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, I think. But like, far as I remember, the only character that had an auto combo where they had anything close to a mix-up
I don't know.
was Chie. because Chie had the high-low with the little kick. But that was about it. So it was like, I mean, like I said, I mean, if auto... Though at the same time, I do wonder, do auto combos really entice newer players to just come in and try to actually give the games a fair chance in the long run? Do you think that?
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of there for people who are kind of just getting into them,
Right.
a little bit, and it's like, oh my god, I suck at doing this quarter circle forward motion thing. I wish I could just press the button a little bit more and just come out. And you can with the auto combo.
Which, that is a real thing, because I went to a convention where, before the whole debacle happened with the creators of Skullgirls and all that, they actually had a panel, I think multiple panels at a convention that I went to some years ago, because I got a chance to play against one of the crew members, Render, by the way. And I think we met them at the tournament first, and then we met them at the panel, because I got a picture with all of them afterward. And it was him, it was the artist, Mario Cartwright, who is awesome. Like, I just love the artwork for Skullgirls. I love the artwork in Indivisible. I played Indivisible, yes I did. But the reason I'm bringing all that up is because since we're talking about getting new people into, like, getting, I guess, less experienced players, like people that get really intimidated when they see certain button inputs for characters and stuff like that, I recall several people, one guy in particular at that Skullgirls panel, like, after it was over, like, they met everybody, like, you know, shake the hand and, like, say, you know, I love what you do, da da da. One guy legitimately thanked them because I guess he was a Cerebella main, and he, I guess, didn't like the fact when it came to grappling characters, you had to do the command throws by doing the whole freaking 360 motion. Because you don't really have that with Cerebella as far as, like, the regular command throws. It's just quarter circles. Like, you have to do one full rotation to do her super, but that's about it. So I'm like, that kind of does matter to people. But I mean, that game I don't think really babies anybody, because you get into ranked, if you are not ready and if you are not conditioned to blocking mix-ups and stuff, Skullgirls will be a nightmare for you. It is a very fast-paced, crazy game.
I'm just thinking back to when I first started playing, because I myself am not. Guys. I have to come out to you guys. I'm not actually I haven't been part of the FGC for a long time.
That's fine.
I started last year.
That's cool.
And I've just really enjoyed it. And then I have like 100-something hours on KOF 13. I don't know how I got here, but I did. Somehow I made it through like my first couple of months when I was playing Street Fighter V and KOF 13. Yeah, those were two games I had. One sucks, kinda. I mean, listen, man, Street Fighter V, it ain't the best game. I don't think it deserves as much hate as it gets. It's just sometimes things are just whack.
Street Fighter V, I think, has improved a tad bit.
I went through most of that first month not knowing how to block. I didn't know you had to hold back until...
Were you used to having a block button?
I used to... Because the first games I had were... the first fighting games I had that I played was Smash and Mortal Kombat 11.
So you did have...
And you would press a different button.
So you did have a block button. Like
yeah, you would have a block button instead of a thing. So I'm like, oh... I would assume it's connected to a button. I was wrong. And then I found to like having to hold back way more because it's quicker, easier, and you don't have to divide your attention nearly as much as to pressing a button.
Well, interestingly, I remember a lot of people who are deeply like rooted like in NetherRealm Studios stuff and all that, like Mortal Kombat and all that. When Injustice became a thing, Injustice Gods Among Us and Injustice 2, everybody was thrown off. Like a lot of, you know what I mean by everybody. Not everybody, but you get what I'm saying. A lot of people were thrown off by the fact that there was no block button in Injustice. You had to like do like all the other, well, yeah, basically like all the other mainframe fighting games for the most part. You're holding back to block. Oh, hold up. I'm glad he said it. I meant to highlight that. This is gonna be something. I'm glad he said it in the chat there. I'm gonna let you speak on this first because I think I might legit jabber for like a whole 5 years about this. Okay. Because he said this in the video I did for the King reaction. Jose in the chat. Why does almost every female character in an SNK game like KOF have short hair? That's really weird, but I would say that's some good taste.
I don't know. I think it's because women who are more serious, I guess. Not to say that most of them weren't serious. This is a weird thing to try and explain. Who are more into fighting heavily and not just there for fun. Like King or something have short hair, I think, for either a symbolic reason or for a tactical advantage so someone doesn't grab you by the ponytail. And there's also guys in the game who have really long hair.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you wanted to, you could really just grab Benny Maru by the hair and just demon flip him like you're Akuma.
If you will have shock-proof hands. Now, like, the crazy thing about
Does he really want to burn out all that hair gel?
I mean, does he want somebody legit freaking throwing him a mile away? I mean, hair that long is like somebody freaking really has enough strength and they're going to pretty much lasso him. Like, remember that freaking ultimate, that freaking level 3 super that freaking She-Hulk has in Marvel 3? Like, imagine like she's doing like that thing, but instead it's freaking, actually no, not level 3, the one like where she base does the air throw and then she swings you around. Like, imagine like she's grabbing Benny Maru by the hair doing that. Like, I'm saying, what do you want? Do you what matters more to you, the hair gel or not getting?
I didn't even realize She-Hulk was in Marvel 3.
Yeah,
I don't think much of that game.
Well,
I've played like 2 hours on that game.
Well, I played it a whole lot because my late brother loved that game. And we played it after college like religion almost. And it's like, we even like, that's how actually we kind of got into FGC. Like, I had been loving fighting games most of my life, but I never knew there was like an FGC or anything like that. I always kind of thought it was similar to like other sports stuff where it's like, hey, you got the major leagues, you got the minor leagues, and then you got where your developmental talent goes and the amateurs and all that. But I mentioned all that because when it was vanilla Marvel 3, She-Hulk was a, pretty popular pick then, like in majors and abroad then. But I remember when Ultimate came out, we saw less and less of that character. So, like I said, I think she might have sunk in popularity some, which was messed up because I thought she was a really good addition to the game because she brought a much more, brought a different sense, like a different taste of when it comes to like a power character. Like, we have a more agile power character, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, I feel like her spot, if it wasn't She-Hulk, they could have probably put maybe like an Armika there or something. Like somebody agile, but somebody that hits hard. And I'm pretty sure some people, if you're watching this and like you play Marvel and then knowing how freaking crazy the mix-ups with Mika are in Street Fighter V, I think imagining her in Marvel might be kind of a nightmare, like a very annoying nightmare. But anyways, yeah. The thing about it is, the funny thing is, I find like a lot of the freaking shorter haired women in KOF like they're like really good looking, like good designs, and like they're fun to play too. It's like I mean, I like the fact that they make it seem like, you can be at least, have some like, appeal, and it's not like every single freaking girl that's just like, cutting her short is this, average, she's a 5 out of 10, like ugly brute or whatever. It's like, there's a lot of cute bruisers out there. Using this TV tropes word, cute bruiser. Because I mean, like, look at it, like King. That time when Vanessa, either one of Vanessa's hairstyles, like the one that they brought back in 14, or even back when it was shorter than that, Vanessa was great then. If you want to say Blue Mary has short hair, okay, I've seen, well, yeah, I guess it would be. That's not really mid-lane. Yeah. But Mary, not Jed. I didn't really like short-haired Yuri Sakazaki all that much. I prefer her with, like, the long hair, or more so, as we got in 15, the braid. I like to prefer that.
Yeah.
Who else?
Alice has short hair.
Alice was cute. Kind of, well, I don't want to say ditzy, but it was good. Elizabeth, like... I like the fact
you got that ducktail haircut.
I mean, it's like, the messed up part about it is when I had first learned of that character, like the time when Elizabeth made her debut, I kind of went backwards in reverse when it came to it, because I had played 13 first, but didn't realize that Elizabeth was in an earlier game. Because when I first saw her, I saw her as like, she was like the Franziska von Karma character from Ace Attorney, but like Franziska's hair is like almost like a platinum, like light blue, like a platinum silver, like blue color or whatever then. But it's like, I always thought like Elizabeth could possibly be like her mom almost, like, cause that's who I first thought about. I thought about Franziska. But I mean, the fact that you got all these different styles, and you got them, and then you got, of course, the one with like the long, luxurious hairs, then whether it be like everybody's favorite member of Mai, because Mai, and somebody in the chat's probably gonna hate me, but there was a time Mai had short hair. I'm not gonna go into that because people say that was a dark age for Mai, but I'll leave it at that. That did happen. But she like had the freaking long hair then. Chizuru, freaking.
I mean, to me, it looked really odd when I've seen Athena with short hair. It looks really bizarre on her.
I honestly was not really ever that crazy about Athena.
Kula with short hair would just look bizarre.
I keep forgetting Kula was in Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
I mean, Kula already had, like, there was a transformation type of thing, like, with the whole Nest program and all that, but I remember, like, she had the red hair, like, she was gingery. Okay, never mind then. I guess it wouldn't, well, at least Jose didn't get mad at me for mentioning short-haired Mai. You guys consider Leona hair as short or long? Long, yeah, because, I mean, you seen the way the ponytail reaches there? At least for me, that's what I would say. It's long. Leona's hair is long.
Mui Mui has short hair. That's also another oddball.
I wouldn't say Mui Mui. Well, it appears short, though, because she has it, like, in the buns, though. But, like, what if you take the buns loose? Because think about it.
Those are some tiny buns, man. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't think I can rephrase that.
Let me stop. We know what he meant. Let me stop. That's my fault. I'm sorry. Stop laughing. It's not funny. Chat, it's not funny.
Okay.
Don't. That was my fault. Oh, I'm so horrible.
Oh, man.
I blame you, Max and Chief. Y'all did this because of all this freaking talk about king cake. Is that a real dish by chance? Is that like a real pastry, king cake?
Oh god! I scrolled down and then I realized I have this picture and it's really funny.
Oh,
it's a different kind of food.
but it's very. It just I don't know why someone made this, and I was like, what?
I was kidding, by the way. Like, I don't think Syrin minded it. It was my fault.
Yeah, no.
I didn't literally mean stop laughing. I didn't literally mean stop laughing. I was just being like,
character with short hair I've never liked the look of is Vice. She's always looked really odd to me.
My
Maybe
friend,
it's like a little too short.
My friend Johnny
But I don't
Phantom loves Vice. And me personally, I'm not like crazy about her then, but at the same time, I can kind of see the appeal because I like, you know, those sinister type of female characters. Then, like, especially like whether they're like, you know, being graceful and all that. And like, imagine, like, I guess, like, you've seen characters as such for, like, I was about to say imagine Chizuru being sinister, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or either those that are like, you know, legit, you know, they're evil, but like, you know, they'll like fight, like, you know, they're muscular. Like, I love me some Amazonians, don't get me wrong, but it's like,
Alright.
I mean, definitely, I ain't afraid to say it. Then I like strong, athletic women. Then, but it's like, I can see why. I think maybe I guessed why Johnny had said it then, because like I could seeing like just the way Vice kind of carries herself, like the stance there, she's almost kind of swaying there, and then on top of that, some way like the certain moves, like when she's jumping out the air and she like forces you into the ground, like tackling and sprawling like on you. Then, like, yeah, she's attacking, but it's almost kind of suggestive in a way. And then of course, if any of you that have played 2002 or if you remember 2002 UM, then when she pops up that long, it's like, yeah, I mean, if your brain is that far into like the freaking sewage gutter, then you might think of a couple of things, but there you have it. I made a joke about
character.
I made a joke about
short hair.
I made a joke about like people doing that mess because one of my old friends that he was strictly into like Capcom stuff, I introduced him into like, you know, King of Fighters and SNK stuff and all that, and I let him borrow my copy of CVS Pro. And you know Mai's like catchphrase, right? She was like Nipponichi, like, right?
Yeah.
This guy comes to me and he thinks that she said me freaky. I'm like, you I'm like, what is the matter with you? But I mean, we were like, this was like elementary school, so it was like we were interpreting stuff like the Rugrats or whatever, interpreting it wrong and saying it wrong.
Let's see. Another character with short hair is probably I mean, they look. I mean, I guess they look good. I can't say they look bad. Is Angel? He's very interesting, but
Angel's cool. Angel's cool.
Whip's another one with short hair. That's pretty, I guess.
Whip's great. Whip is great.
He's also a little freaky from time to time, though.
Oh, why'd you have to say that? You just tried to remind me of them. Oh, stop, Jose. Don't make me get back on Twitter for the sole reason of tweeting this idea to SNK until they do it. Because Jose in the chat, it was like, I would like to see an unlockable costume where Leona takes the ponytail down. For the record here, if you've just tuned into the Shattering, I'm sorry that you're listening to two guys.
You got in
over
at a bad time.
I'm sorry for the fact that you've dropped in on two freaking geeks over here fawning over hair, but we promise you, we didn't start it. We didn't start it. I want to assure you of that. Okay, so, yes, absolutely, yes. I 100% agree, Jose. I'm trying to think, like, because the only thing, like, Leona really had changed was, like, the costume. Because I remember you mentioned that, and it was like, hey, if they wanted to put her in Smash, like, you know, let her wear that. I just like the cool factor that Leona just has, and it's like, I don't know, like there's just something about like the kind of deadpan, soft-spoken, smooth assassin types that like I just like her with. Like I always like those types of characters.
Interesting. You like playing with fire?
I didn't say that. I didn't say fire. You said that.
Alright.
I was talking about freaking just being like, you know, discreet. Then you over here talking like freaking the next protagonist is gonna be like, nah, I'm not. Nah, forget it. It'd be really messed up if they actually just ditched Shune in 2 games. Two. They'd be like,
I think that'd be interesting.
they'd be like, this whole thing with, you know, the kid, it ain't working, so, yeah, 2 games, Shune. Sorry.
Sorry, you're getting replaced with someone else.
And just as I'm saying that, a clip of Kyo whooping on him just came up. Alright, that's it. What else you got? Well, go ahead. I was like, I'm tired of beating up on Shune even though I keep doing it.
Let's see. Oh no, there's a lot of interesting characters.
Want me to take some more stuff from the chat just in case? Because I got a little something here.
Sure.
There's a little bit. So, Shuichi in the chat. It bothers me a little that Leona doesn't have more defined muscles she is in the military. Naturally, I would say I wouldn't mind that all that much, but y'all heard one of my biases earlier, so yeah, I think so. I mean, like, she's rougher and all that, but then again, I mean, yeah, I like a leaned out, like Leona. It's like, yeah, it'd be good. I really hope they're not gonna be afraid of talking about like, oh, you know, we don't want her looking like a guy. I'm like, really? Like this Leona right here.
I just had the most cursed idea.
This Leona right here. This one. Yeah, get out of here.
Just had the most cursed idea.
Ain't no such thing as curses.
Just extremely jacked Kula. Don't know why. He said something, and then I was scrolling down and I saw a picture of Kula, and I was like, "What?"
Why Kula?
I don't know. I'm looking at the KOF 14 Steam community page. There's just a lot of stuff here, man.
So that's where all that psycho balling came from. Now she's gonna bottle it all up and become like a monster. Wasn't there a character like in Tenkaichi, like it was an alien chick, but like they had her turn into like the freaking big monstrous thing? It was in a movie or something. I didn't watch. I watched a couple of DBZ movies, but not all of them. Shuichi in the chat is like, extremely buff Kula bigger than Maxima. That's...
Oh my god.
What type of robotic enhancements did she freaking get?
Steroids.
Nah, she probably just freaking ate ice cream. Anyways.
That's not muscle.
I mean, you don't know what Nest... You don't know what Nest cooking up over there. Like, Nest be engaging in all that illegal activity and stuff. Who knows what they be doing over there? Jose says, will characters in the Maximum Impact series make their appearance? That would be kind of groundbreaking.
Alright.
That would be kind of groundbreaking if the Maximum Impact characters came. I mean, is that what they mean by shatter all expectations? Then is like they were thinking, hey, they thought we were going to keep the Maximum Impact characters in just Maximum Impact. Watch this. I mean, I'd be all for it. I'd be all for it. I mean, I was cool with them, like, when everybody was speculating and trying to predict the characters that were coming to, in the first Sam Show DLC pass. I remember people hoping that there were certain characters from Sam Show 64 coming into the game. So, and I was cool with that. Like, the Asura character was really freaking cool in Sam Show 64. I felt like, I mean, how many more characters they got in this season pass? Is the Guilty Gear character the last one? I don't think so.
I don't know.
But like, if they don't bring freaking Asura into like the current Sam show, that'll be the second biggest mistake they can make. The first one is not, you know, cleaning up that netcode, but whatever.
Yeah.
Because I want to get back to playing Darly Dagger. I miss that. I've never had so much fun playing like a newer age character in such a long time. Good point there. So Jose responded to the whole thing about like Leona having more, you know, defined muscles or whatever. Well, military female fighters aren't always going to be ripped. Look at Sonya and Cassie and MK. They aren't allowed to be ripped because of, besides the arm muscles. And those two have been known to beat a little bit of everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, the video that I did about guest character teams, when I mentioned the Hokage team from Flame of Recca, Fuko is about the same exact size as like a Leona, Cassie, and Sonya. But Fuko, like even before she got the Madogu that powered her up, this girl is a giant killer. Like you got this freaking like comparatively like to the most biggest hoss that you know, this freaking tiny petite, like not young, I mean like just a high schooler or whatever, but it's like she's like hella petite compared to like this big guy, and she freaking embarrasses him. Like he freaking just doesn't break a sweat, ripping them to shreds right there. It's like,
Okay, I just found the image of the KOF 13 Athena, but someone made a 3D model of it.
it's even worse.
Yeah, I don't know why someone did that. I'm like, that doesn't look like Athena. That doesn't look like Athena.
That Athena look like she should be in what you call a Pixar movie.
Yeah, probably. It's basically like that.
Oh, in a minute. Thought it was a chill soundtrack. This mess is bumping. Freaking
Started
bumping.
playing.
This mess is bumping. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna show y'all this what Syrin freaking got me. I'm gonna hold it a minute. Screen's gonna go blank for like a couple of seconds. Yeah, see, that's what Syrin sent me in the chat. Tell me that... Now, I don't think it's bad. I don't know.
Like one of my classmates.
I don't know. I won't say it's bad, but it's like, this looks legit like freaking Leona should be... Leona. Athena should be like in a Pixar... Like, this looks like Athena like in one of those Pixar movies. Oh, snap. I'm so sorry, Leona. Now you're gonna imagine like Leona being in like a Pixar movie.
I think that's Athena.
Tell you like that, like I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's a cursed image, and like it just strange, man. It's just strange, just strange.
Yeah, it is kind of strange.
All right, enough of that. Enough of that. What y'all talking about over here?
Is Wild Street playing for you as well?
What's up?
It is Wild Street playing for you as well?
Is it Wild Street? I think so.
Oh,
Yep. You must have heard me humming the tune.
alright.
Must have heard me humming
Yeah,
the tune.
I'm like, wait, that's what I'm listening to right now.
It's the magic of the shuffle, the magic of the randomness. Don't ask why I did that accent. I'm just freaking goofy right now. Hold on, what was it? There we go. Let's see. Jose says the character reveal trailers are gonna be random, but there's a specific pattern on them. The next trailer on Wednesday could be either Chris or Shermie. I'm telling y'all right now, and this is not me hoping. I just have a bad feeling. If we are going to see another member of Team New Faces, sooner than later, it's gonna be Chris, not me. It's gonna be not me, Chris. It's going to be not me, Chris. They know how popular Shermie is. You think they didn't see a bunch of freaking players thirsting over freaking Shermie when Yashiro's trailer came out? I wasn't one of them, but like when someone, I don't know, one of y'all that watched my video pointed it out, then said, "Oh my goodness, you go to Yashiro's video, it's all talking about Shermie. It's all talking about Shermie." It's like, oh my god. I had enough to not. I didn't want to add to that. Oh my god.
Much like Diamond get like announced next week or something.
Watch, who get announced?
Diamond or something.
Who?
Diamond, Goro Diamond.
Oh, Diamond.
I'd be so disappointed. He's a character.
Okay, I'm jumping ahead.
Just kind of.
I'm jumping ahead because I wanted to save this for predictions, but that team I had with him and Shingo, I'm gonna probably cut it from my predictions because I just really don't see where they could possibly place him at this point. Because, and I'm not trying to come down on the freaking Goro Daimon fans, but where do you put him when the two most popular members of Team Japan are on different teams now? And it's like he can't be basically riding freaking Benimaru's coattails because he's got the Tung Fu kids.
Yeah.
Made me sound like this. Oh god. That sounds bad, the Tung Fu kids.
The Tung Fu kids.
Makes me sound like I just don't like them.
Kids?
Makes me sound like I don't like them. Oh my god.
Where's Junchan Ray? Where's Chang?
I wonder if freaking Jin is gonna come back though. But just like, I mean, I know.
Shanshu. I don't think I said that right. But
I mean, it's Chanshu and there's Chan Ray. But I mean, it's like, I wonder will they make a comeback because, I mean, did they just throw that little ending at the end of Team China's ending in 14 just to be like, red herrings, let's cook them up early?
dang it, man! Dang it! I just want my Fatal Fury characters of this KOF 15 game keep telling us about it. Put them in there. Where's our cool characters? Where's what's his name? Franco Bash. Where's
By the way, Jose, that's just a joke I always say then, because even Shuichi follows up on it then. Anytime I talk about Chris, then it's all that actually came from another game I played with friends. I forgot what it was called, but it was a MOBA of some sort. And it's like every time they would be talking about the character in the game named Chris, they would always try to confuse, like they would just try to like confuse everybody to myself. What are you talking about? Because like I wouldn't be playing the character with my name. So it's like, but no, Chris is over here with me. It's like, no, Chris is over here. No, he's over here in my lane. No, he's over in that lane. And like I think he's talking like, so that's where the whole not me thing came from. So I know you weren't talking about me. It's cool. But yeah, I just want to clarify that because I think he was confused. But yeah, I'm just thinking like, as you just based on how you put him, like, why did they put that messing in the Team China? Why'd they do that? And it's like, then, like, I mean, we got like, of all the people like in the ending, like where you see the people, the list of people that's on Tung Fu Ru's mind, we've only seen 2 of them. in this game. 2.
Yeah.
And it's the Bogard brothers.
The geese.
I mean, we haven't.
Not yet.
We haven't seen,
no,
we ain't seen the goose yet.
Yeah.
Part of me wonders if he's going to take his bags and. I wonder if he's going to take his bags and come back over here from freaking Tekken 7.
I think he's like, all right, I've had enough of beating up Heihachi. I'll call Krauser. You can take my spot in the next one.
Krauser's going to come back and he's going to be promoted to leader for the first time since his last freaking appearance.
I was making the joke of he's just gonna be the next Tekken character.
I mean, he would have been a good fit. He'd have been a good fit, honestly. But I think that they felt he didn't have enough star power, like far as past the SNK fandom. I mean, you talk to anybody in the SNK fandom that's hardcore, they freaking love Wolfgang Krauser. They love him. They love. Is it Adelheid? Adelheid? I always botch his name too. It's his and freaking Gonitz's. I keep thinking I'm not saying Gonitz right. But yeah, it's like people love not Gonitz, but the two of them, it's like they like those characters, but you got people on the outside saying, what about Terry? I'm like, well, no, we want to get you how about Wolfgang Krauser? But what about you want a villain? How about the goose over there? It's like, okay, fine.
Surprised that Mr. Karate hasn't made it into more stuff.
I mean, like I said, you gotta take into account, like, Tekken, like, all of these franchises are big. So, like, they want people with star power, unless, like, they were just thinking, we want to do something that nobody's thinking about, which is actually what SNK does. Because I think one thing that was discussed in Chief's video talking about, can SNK really shatter all expectations with this game? And there was all this talk about including guest character teams. And everybody's like, they need to do Team Tekken, do Team Street Fighter, do Team this. And it's like, now initially I was like, y'all know, if you look at the stuff in Sam Show, they are going to probably pick something that is so obscure or something that nobody was thinking about. Because nobody was thinking about the Warden. Nobody was thinking about Gong Sun Wei. But at the same time, with this whole Guilty Gear Cross Samurai Spirits thing, maybe I'm wrong in that aspect.
We're getting the guy from Baseball Stars next? Oh, jeez. They really did shatter all my expectations.
Oh my god, but we'll see. I mean, I do think SNK is at least open to the idea of putting maybe a guest character in their biggest franchise, because I mean, that whole thing with them bringing in all those guest characters for Sam Show, that's kind of big. Sam Show's never really had guest characters like that before. Like, at least outside. Like, that goes for, like, mostly all the SNK games. Usually they don't pick characters from outside their verse, really. All the guest characters in freaking SNK, they usually are like, I mean, they're guest characters because they're not from this franchise, but they're still an SNK character.
Yeah.
It's like, we got 3 non-SNK guest characters in Sam Show, so, maybe that's what they're talking about. Maybe that's what the Shatter All Expectations is really pointing at. Little do they know, we have a guest character in here. I forgot where I saw this, but what do you think about the statement that the Marvel and DC Comics universe do not or would not fit well in KOF?
I think that's probably true. I don't know. I never really played any of the Marvel characters in Marvel vs. Capcom.
I mean, this person, I think,
Wolverine.
I think this person was talking about just in terms of like just the characters themselves.
No, I don't think they fit that well. They're a little too, I don't know.
Too modern?
That and the fact that KOF, they're all like in it for like the fight and like fighters heart and heart, and then you got these Marvel characters who are like these hero characters are doing things for justice. The only real justice characters I really ever see is like Kim, It's a different kind of justice.
So you think that, I guess, the motivations, the different pursuits, maybe kind of like they don't really overlap, I suppose, because I guess in your case you're wondering why would, something like the X-Men, and it's not like a knock on the characters, but I think I basically just said it right there. Their end goal, their aspirations, they don't overlap because I don't think big tournaments are really or what's core to like people like the Avengers, the X-Men, the Justice League, the Suicide Squad. Like, I don't think like a tournament is just their motivation, because that's basically what KOF is all about. Like, yeah, there are some extra storylines past that, even with like newer characters. Like, of course, we know about stuff like Nelson and like his, what is it, who was it, his fiance was in a coma.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, just making sure I got that right. But yeah, there is extra storylines, but it's like the tournament is just the thing, because I think someone had made a point as to why they always talk about, because someone wants a 3-count bout team in KOF 15, because they were saying, hey, I mean, granted it's like wrestling, but I mean, isn't that what kind of, in most cases, if you take all the soap opera storylines and stuff out of it, then aren't most wrestlers just trying to like get the world's title? That's what they're doing in freaking KOF. They're trying to fight to be the KOF champion. So,
yeah.
But of course, 3-count bout is not really, far as like franchise wise, like far as the company, like that's not really a guest character, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who they pick. I feel like it would be fitting if they picked obviously a Capcom character, probably a Tekken character, probably also a Richxson character. That's my safest guess.
I understand why
they're to do a third party.
I understand why people want it, but I never really got the idea of having 3 people from 3 different franchises team up in the KOF tournament if they're guest characters. Like, I know it's kind of out the box.
I was about to say. I mean, that's kind of just what Team Otherworld is, or Team Another World is, basically.
Well, we're talking about non-SNK though. I mean, I forgot who it was, but basically on the Bear, like, if we're talking just straight up in terms, and because I forgot who it was, somebody was talking about King of Fighters might as well just been called guest character at the game, basically.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about outside the SNK verse, because I mean, it's still a. But at the same time, it works with Nakoru. I usually say her name like with the freaking. I actually said it without the rolling the R's, but. Anyways, it works with them. However, there's going to be a little bit of a wrinkle there because one of them is under a copyright, and unless they strike a deal, that ain't gonna happen.
Which, do you think one of the other ones could be a filler SNK character, or do you think it could be like that?
I've always been of the opinion that the Team Otherworld is catering even further to SNK hardcore nostalgics.
Yeah.
With that being said, they brought, like I said, and I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this. I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but they brought her into SNK Heroines. But Jeanne d'Arc from World Heroes was like, and honestly is kind of one of the more underrated characters, seeing that, I mean, I know she didn't invent it, but I mean, we're talking about having it in a fighting game, but she had the whip sword in a fighting game before there was even an Ivy Valentine. So, I mean, I know she's based on like a Joan of Arc character, but I mean, all the World Hero characters were kind of based off of historical figures. There was a Rasputin character.
Huh.
Yes. Which was funny because, like, he had this thing where, like, his hands would turn big and gold and some crap, and he would squeeze you like somebody who can't get the last... Somebody struggling to get, like, toothpaste out of a freaking thin-ass freaking toothpaste tube or whatever.
Yeah. I hate when that happens.
But, Jose finds it strange that Mr. Karate and Art of Fighting actually predated Akuma from Street Fighter. To quote an anime character that I'm actually not a fan of, believe it. It's real.
Pretty cool, though.
And by the way, Suichi, I know what you had talked about you would do, but hey, I wish that you were in charge there. Because I would love to see Shermie early, but I don't think they're going to do it. Like I said, hey, if they show her this week, I'm cool with it. But I just think, and I know everybody doesn't do it, at least to the same degree, but we are in the age, especially with fighting games, of the trolling creator, the trolling developer. This is what, unfortunately, is another one of the biggest drawbacks of social media is. Companies can see how people operate, even though, of course, I mean, whether or not you want to, I mean, I know social media is not like a total accurate representation of how people actually think, because there are, of course, people that go in there and troll themselves, so blah, 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 blah. But it's like, they see people talking, and like, they will always, well, not always, but in most cases, they will try to like, oh, they want the freaking, the big, luscious ginger freaking with the bangs grappler, huh? All in your Shiro video? Okay, we're gonna show her last, How about that? It's like, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, people do that all the time. Like, Ed Boon does that mess ridiculously. Those of you who are Smash fans, what am I talking about? You, Syrin. All the times, because I had to research this, that all the times that Masahiro Sakurai put all these little Luigi teases in there, I thought the mess where he was demonstrating that you could knock out the freaking assist trophies or whatever, and who does he decide to use as a punching bag? Waluigi. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. See,
messed up.
Now I don't know. Now I don't think SNK does it as much of to an extent that these other companies do, but seeing that KOF at this point in time is SNK's like one of their favorite kids, their favorite child, their baby, whatever you want to call it or whatnot, they might pull out some stops. But I really hope, I mean, I really hope Shermie is next, but at the same time, I just wonder what's going to happen, because I say the same thing every week until we have like, hey, we got 2 characters that we know are going to be on this team, and we got 2 characters that have been revealed that are going to be on this team. Every time a week comes, SNK is going to do something funny. They are going to do something funny. Ever since the Joe Higashi mess, they've been getting funny with it. Even though that was still clever on their part, because Dan came out at the same time and both of them won the CVS tournament. And not to mention, of course, Joe was laughing like, ha ha, you thought you were gonna get the freaking nice, pretty, graceful, classy lady. They missed out on an opportunity to have him moon the crowd afterward. Let me stop, I'm done. Y'all probably tired of me ranting at this point. Oh, Lord.
It should be like Kazumi Todo next week.
Jose thinks that if Bane was in KOF 15, he'd break every character's spine.
Well, that's just kind of a Bane thing, isn't it?
There are some people in the KOF I think Bane couldn't hang with. I mean, you think he could really hang with Geese, though?
I did.
Him, too? Like... Which song is
Tizok, maybe? I don't know.
That'd be a good
Mexico.
Oh, that'd be a good match. Tizok.
Both from Mexico, and they both have wrestling skills. both big buff guys.
Yo, you know you've hated a character so immensely when you think of them, all you think about is how much they annoyed you as an SNK boss, but never realized they had a really, really good song. Because Evil Ash was one of the dumbest things that freaking SNK made in the past couple years, but it just came up on your playlist. I forgot how good Diabolysis, his theme song sounds. I forgot how godlike that mess sounds. Because I was
It's one
busy.
of my favorites.
Because I was busy getting chipped to death.
Yeah.
And Jose is right there with me.
All the characters, I remember I went up against him recently, and I'm like, wow, I can't do anything. All the characters I'm playing have 0 range. I was playing Shen, Hua, and Rio, and I was like, well, I'm done for.
Yeah, you were going to have to brawl.
I'm like, alright, get over here. I'm like, okay.
You were going to have to brawl, man. You were going to have to brawl.
I'm not even mad about the projectiles. The worst projectiles are his dark psyches because they stick you in place.
Of course, you didn't have to.
Okay.
And of course, you didn't have to hear 500 helpings of.
Yeah.
That's the worst impression ever. Go ahead.
The thing I hate most with Ash, or one of the things he can do, is the one where he can just do this BS where he's just like, okay, so I did a special, but I could cancel my special.
Yep.
Into just a normal.
Yep.
And then you get trapped in it. And just say goodbye to your health bar.
He had a drive cancel of a different kind.
Yeah. Hyper drive cancel.
All right, we got roughly 5 more minutes left of this, so I thought of this interesting idea. Within the last 5 or maybe 7-10 minutes, whatever you want to do, depending on how the shows roll. Everybody, you in the chat can also participate, if you will. Who do you think is going to be revealed next, and why? Syrin.
What? I'm thinking Mai.
Why?
Because, Mai don't buy? No. Because of the fact, I feel like they're gonna have it be Mai, but then they're gonna be like, haha, you thought King was gonna be on there, and you thought Yuri was gonna be on there, and they just completely throw away the fact that one of them is not on a team together. So it doesn't say Women's Fighters Team or something when it pops up. I don't know. Maybe.
That'd be an interesting scenario. That would be a really interesting scenario.
What I wanted to be revealed next, I don't know, K-Dash?
No, I'm just like, no, we're trying to predict. It ain't so much who we want. I want to know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to actually guess it.
Maybe K-Dash? I don't have any particular reason, but they could just throw them in there.
So are you sticking with your Mai prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Mai.
Alright, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make a prediction way out of left field. Next reveal is going to be Robert Garcia.
Alright.
Because now we got Yuri Sakazaki. Cause see, the fact that Yuri Sakazaki and King have been on, I'm not gonna say a multitude of teams, like it's really just 2 teams and they kind of shuffle back and forth. You throw Robert in there, so now people are really guessing. Cause now it's like, where's Rio coming in? And like, when are they gonna when y'all gonna confirm a team? Like, who's gonna be on whose team? Like, that's why I kind of like the setup here is actually pretty good, because the last couple characters, particularly King and Yuri Sakazaki, they could be on either or, which is really gonna keep people guessing. So I think it is going to be Robert Garcia. Going to the chat. Shuichi says Mai or Shermie. Alright, Shuichi, you gotta pick one. Pick one. Mai or Shermie. Jose in the chat says $50 is gonna be on Shermie on Wednesday. Okay, so we got two, well, possibly 1-2 for Shermie, maybe. And Jose says that $20 on. Yep, just one. Is that Shermie? AATQ in the chat says they're gonna reveal Alice.
Huh.
Okay.
Interesting.
So we got 2 for Shermie. Jose and Suichi said Shermie. AATQ said Alice. You said Mai, right?
Yeah, I said Mai.
No Mai, no buy indeed. And I said Robert Garcia. Alright. So, that being said, until this Wednesday, we will see if any one of us got it right. This is going to be some very, very, very silly comedy if nobody got it right.
Yeah.
Like, I actually might wake up my whole house at this point. If, like... Nah, I know you're kidding. Oh, Suichi's saying, like, it's gonna be Duck King. I don't think Suichi's changing, like, their prediction. I think they're just saying, like, if they reveal none of them, it's gonna be Duck. Which would be kind of expectation shattering, because despite the fact I think he's cool, a lot of people see him as a joke. I like Duck King. It's just the name.
You like that?
It's just like Duck King. The name is just kind of.
I have his theme in here because it's like probably it's a pretty boppin' theme.
Oh yeah. All right then. Before we head out, I know you got an announcement to make, so tell them.
I do? What?
I thought you had I thought you had an event on the 4th or something. Like I won't be able to make it.
Oh, I do have that. Yeah, it's not really much of an event. It's more or less this thing I do. I guess it's an event technically, but I have this thing where every year I basically make a new thing for my channel. So whenever somebody comes in who's new, it's just like it kind of welcomes them, and it's just like I talk about my channel a little bit and introduce my friends and stuff.
Okay. Well, anyways, with that being said, sub to Syrin Richxson if you haven't already. Channel will be in the description there. All I gotta tell y'all is keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully this week goes smoothly for me. I can finally update I'm gonna try to hopefully get the predictions out because I want to take my little KOF mathematics. Freaking person's booming down the street, jeez. But I want to take that and like apply it to my predictions, and I want to try to do it before Wednesday, just in case. And of course, y'all voted for Terry, so the 10 fascinating facts about KOF character series will resume next week. So be on the lookout for that. Anything else you got?
No. I guess stay tuned later.
I say anything for you. Anything for you.
Basically, I guess stay tuned soon. It's gonna be after April 4th, but I'm basically gonna probably be making a compilation of my best moments from 2020.
Okay.
I do them later in the year for some reason, but not super late.
Alright. That's cool.
Yeah, make sure to check it out.
Alright then. So, that was episode 4 of The Shattering. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining us. Those, like the regulars and some of the new ones, if y'all are here. Even if, like, you're watching this and you didn't say anything in the chat, which, I mean, you don't have to. It's not a requirement. As long as you enjoy it, it's cool. Great to have you all here. I've really enjoyed this journey of just talking stuff KOF with you all. But until next time, I will remember all of your guesses. I got them written down so no one BS's come the next episode. This is The Shattering. I am Chris Lotus. And he is Syrin Richxson. I don't think.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought you were gonna introduce yourself. Like, yeah. This is the Shattering.
That's me.
We will catch you all next weekend. Take care.
See you all next weekend. Bye bye.